Hello everyone, my name is Ciudad and this is sprint 3 of CMSC 126. So in this video, I'll be discussing to you the backend programming that I use in my work, as well as the frameworks that I use to create the database features in my work. So first of all, we are going to download XAMPP or XAMPP. So XAMPP is a collection of modules or frameworks that we can use to basically create a backend system which features a database as well as allows us to use PHP to store data to a local server or a local host. So first of all, we have Apache. So Apache is an HTTP host, as well as MySQL, which is a version of SQL that is used in creating a database, as well as so that we can use PHP to access the database as well. So let us view the web page that I've created over here. And when you click on this profile version, you will see that we are a guest, so we have to register for an account. However, if we already registered for an account, we can just log in as so. And as you would see, there would be an indicator indicating your username and password. So the requirements for this sprint is that we create a read and write website. So for the read portion of this database, what we are going to do is we are going to read the username and the password, and using this code that I have written, as you would see right here, when we submit the form, we are posting the form to what is the backend programming portion of the login.php file. However, if we encounter an error, we just print the error that is shown over here. So we take the username and password and we submit it, and we go it to the backend programming that we login portion, as you will see here. So what basically happens is that we create a new session, and we first check if our PHP is connected using this database connector.php, which basically just accesses the creates a instance or that defines the current server name, the username, password, and the database name. Right now, we are not submitting this to an online website, so we can just use the root as well as an empty password. So the database name that we are going to use is what we call the Ciudad gates, and we are going to establish a new MySQL connection. This is through the work of the MySQL framework over here. And we're going to establish a connection and check if there is a connection. If there is, we're going to print connected successfully. However, if we did not, we are going to say connection failed. So going back to the login.php portion over here, we are just going to, first we're going to validate the data. The reason why we need to validate the data is because SQL or PHP itself has a lot of injectors. So what an injector is basically we can run code or malicious code. So we need to do special features that are exclusive to MySQL, which is to trim the data as well as strip any flashes or any HTML special characters. Next, we return that data. Then we are going to assign it into the username and password variables over here. So as you will see here, first we test if the username is required or password username is empty or if the password is empty. Otherwise, we are going to print the error that the username is required. So going back, let's say we have an empty username over here. And when we submit this, so as you can see, there is an indicator here that says username is required. However, if we put the username, let's say 12, when we submit the password, we submit it, it would then say the password is required. So next, after that, if the username or the password are not empty, what we're going to do is we're going to select select all the entries from the user table where the login name is this established username that we put in the text box as well as the password. So we then query the result, and so if the username matches and the password matches, we are going to print logged in. And we are going to redirect the user back to the index as well. However, if we establish that we have an incorrect username or password, we are just going to print the notice that we have an incorrect username or password, and then we are going to exit. So let's put an incorrect username or password over here. Let's say 123 and password is ABC. We're going to submit, and after a while, it's going to say that we have an incorrect username and password. However, let's try to put the correct username and password again. So let's access this MySQL. I misupdated this table over here, this database. Try again. We'll go back to that later. So let's try and put a sample username over here. One of the usernames I inserted, one of the existing users that I have inserted is Pinanarigu, and the password is supposed to be Pinanafish. So when we click on submit, what happens is it's going to redirect to the home page. And when we press submit, and then we have successfully logged in. So more work should be done. For example, we need to dynamically update this, but basically we just created a login system for our web page. So when we go back over here, so in my table we have the Ciudad games database. It's just a table user. So in the user table, we basically have all of the login names as well as the passwords. So as you would see, earlier we inserted the login name Pinarigo and the password Pinanafish, and since it was validated to be correct, what happened is that we were able to successfully log in. So let's try another one. We have here Illyria Pinora and Illyria Dragon as the password. So when we go back to login again to our website, when we type Illyria Pandora and the password is Illyria Dragon, when I click on submit, what happens is that we are going to go back to the index page of the website. So as you would see, we have successfully created a backend programming framework for our website. If you have any more questions, please let me know. And thank you for watching, and goodbye.